Yo, what's up guys, so I'm going to show you how to do Gunsmith Part 3 for the new .14 patch in Escape from Tarkov. Now before we begin, I just want to say I'm giving away a few copies of Tarkov, so if you guys are interested in joining that, check out the link in the description. So how do we complete this task? Well, there are two ways we can do this, either by the MP5 or the MP5 SD, and I will teach you what to do depending on your situation. So if you do have Peacekeeper at level 2, I recommend buying the normal MP5 from Peacekeeper. If you do not have Peacekeeper level 2, I recommend strongly to get him to Peacekeeper level 2 because it is much cheaper to do this than buy the parts from Flea Market. However, if you do want to do this task without getting Peacekeeper to level 2, you can. Then I recommend getting the MP5 SD barter from Mechanic. It is much cheaper doing this barter than buying a normal MP5 and converting it to an MP5 SD through the Flea Market. But you can do however you want. So now you either have an MP5 or an MP5 SD. If you have an MP5 SD, you do not need to do this part. For everyone that bought a normal MP5, I can show you how to convert that to an MP5 SD. Now, if you got Peacekeeper level 2, which I strongly suggest you do, you can buy the 3 parts needed from him directly, all of the 3 parts. However, you can also buy them from the flea market, but they are much more expensive. So we need a sound suppressor HK MP5 SD, which goes for 45k on the flea market or only $200. We need the polymer handguard, the MP5 SD, which is 62k or $47 from Peacekeeper. And we also need the upper receiver, the MP5 SD, which is $67 or 40k. So once you have all of these 3 parts, we need to convert our gun to an MP5 SD. How do we do this? Well, we go to our old MP5, we remove the old upper receiver, and go back to the upper receiver we just removed and drag the old the stock off of it. Now we can put on our 3 new parts, so the MP5 SD upper receiver, the handguard for it, and also the suppressor, and also take the old stock and put it on the gun. Now we are done. Now we have an MP5 SD. So now if you had an MP5 SD, now we need to buy these 3 parts as well. So we need to get a blue laser module, which we can get from Skier level 1. We also need a tri-rail ring mount, which we can get from Peacekeeper. I'm not too sure if it's level 2 or level 1. Pretty sure it's level 2. Yeah, it's level 2. We can also buy it from the flea market, but it is very hard. We also need a 50 round drum magazine, which we can also get from flea market. And we can also do a barter for it from Mechanic level 2 or Peacekeeper level 2. So once we have these 3 parts, now we can just drag these parts onto our gun and we are done. Remember to go into the gun and remove the old magazine, of course. So we just drag these parts on and we are done. As you can see, there's a yellow check mark, which means we are done to turn this gun into Mechanic. Now, if you do not have the yellow check mark, make sure the durability is over 80. The gun has to have over 80% durability in order for you to turn it in. So now we can safely go to Mechanic, go to Tasks, and Gunsmith Part 3, and as we can see, we can now turn it in. So that is how you complete Gunsmith Part 3.